Oh, he's too kind. I don't need to say anything now. Well, let me start by recognizing that we do have at least one elected official here. Where did Keith McLaughlin go?
To your left.
To my left. I appreciate you being here. We have former city officials, planning commissioners, some neighborhood reps, a variety of other folks here, so thank you for coming. I also want to thank my mom, who's hiding in the back there. Mom, thank you. And mother-in-law.
My mom's hiding somewhere around here.
Yay, Mom.
Yay, other mom. Where we are.
And Lori, thank you, because I've heard other people say this, but I never knew what it meant until now. Without the love and support that you give me every day, there's no way I could give as much to this campaign or this city. So thank you. And it's been a pleasure and a privilege for me over the years to serve the city and this region in a variety of ways. And I'm just excited about this opportunity to raise that level of service to the next level and run for city council. I'm glad you're all here. I'm thrilled about the weather. I was very worried. Last weekend was sunny and the weekend before that was sunny. And what are the odds of getting 3 sunny weekends? So that's great. I'm happy about that. So I want to just talk about a few things, and then we'll get to the food. No worries. One of the things I want to talk about is our neighborhoods. The city of Shoreline is known as the city of neighborhoods, and the strength of our neighborhoods is something I hear about every day. So when the Planning Commission drafted the new vision and framework goals for our city, and we did that based on input from hundreds of people over a period of 6 months, one of the key things we identified was the importance of respecting our neighborhoods and involving the neighborhoods in the decisions that affect them. So that's very important to us. And as a planning commissioner, I've taken a lot of my time to get to know issues from the neighborhood perspective. I've often gone on long tours of neighborhood issues. Some of you here have led me on those tours and showed me some of the things going on in your neighborhood. I try to do my homework, understand what people care about first, listen to everybody before I form my opinion. And then, as Rocky said, I sit down with my colleagues and my opinion changes as we try to come to a consensus that everybody can support. And what that means is that we all have to give a little bit, there's a little bit of compromise, and it's never a perfect solution, but once we get that done, we're able to move forward to the next issue and the next and continue to tackle the priorities of the communities here. So I'm very pleased with the work we've done for our neighborhoods. We've had a lot of conflict in this city recently over growth issues. There are some people who think that any change at all is a threat to our communities and to our neighborhoods and to the environment. I see that a little differently, and some of you have read the little write-up I did on that. But I think that if we plan to have the right kind of change and the right amount of change in the right place, then we should be able to do that in a way that enhances our neighborhood, enhances our environment, and lets us bring in more tax dollars and development that meets today's higher energy efficiency standards and better environmental standards. We can all come out ahead. So every vacant lot, in my opinion, is an opportunity for something other than just weeds and trash and graffiti, right? It's an opportunity for the community and the landowner and the city to reach some agreement on how to balance things like how much open space we need to protect, amenities like community gardens, things like that, as well as development that can enhance and serve our community. Once we find that balance and we reach that agreement, I think it's important to try to take action quickly before we lose the opportunity. One of my favorite quotes, and the Everett Herald quoted me on quoting Bill Ruckelshaus. Bill Ruckelshaus, he was the first administrator of the United States Environmental Protection Agency and a former chair of the Salmon Recovery Funding Board. And also a longtime mentor of mine. And he told me that we have to balance the desire to act quickly with the desire to act wisely. So we need to do both of those things. But once we've got the solution, move quickly and move on. Cats are having fun. So that's the approach that I want to take to our city council. I am a former high school teacher, a lifelong supporter of education, and I'm never going to forget that it's the quality of our schools here in Shoreline that were the driving force behind the creation of the city of Shoreline. So, in a recent controversial issue that many of you are familiar with, when the school board recently came to the city and asked for permission to build taller high school buildings, more energy efficient, more environmentally friendly, more open space, it was easy for me to support them and recommend approval of that. Now, I know there's still work to be done to make sure we protect the historical museum, and Lenita Wacker and I were talking about that tonight. I believe that we will be able to work through that all of us care about the museum and our history. In fact, I drafted a lot of the framework goals that the city recently adopted, including the one that focuses on supporting arts, culture, and history. So it's very important to me. I believe we can have great schools and the historical museum as long as we sit down and work on those issues together, and that's the approach that I want to bring to the city council. I want to say just a couple words about transportation and our role in the region, because every day more than 100,000 people from Snohomish County drive through our city to their jobs in Seattle. You add to that the fact that we're all taking more trips between where we live, where we work, where we play soccer, where we shop, and it's pretty obvious that we need more transportation options. So on the Planning Commission, I've consistently advocated for more safe, connected transportation routes for bicycles, pedestrians, and more transit. I took a leadership role in encouraging community transit and metro transit to work together and cooperate on cross-boundary issues. And as a result of that, they have taken some steps toward improving and integrating their planning for bus rapid transit along the Aurora corridor. And that means that there will be less impact on traffic in our city from people who are just passing through. So I appreciate the City Council, by the way, for adopting that resolution that the Planning Commission brought. We also need better east-west bus connections, and like I said, with sidewalks, it just seems so obvious that our children should be able to walk to school on a sidewalk, not on a road. All right, so in summary, and then we'll move on quickly, what I'm looking to do on City Council is preserve the things that we love about this city and try to continue to look for opportunities to improve it. We do have a new vision and a new framework goals that the City Council adopted, and I want to work toward implementing that. And most of all, I want to be part of a city government that you can trust, a city government that respects you and your values, and a city government that knows that the reason it exists is to serve the community, not the other way around. So thank you for listening. Thank you for your support. And speaking of support, before we wrap up the program, I want to introduce a friend and neighbor of mine, Melanie Gillespie, who I've worked with in the past. She lives up the street, and she works for a nonprofit now called Home for Good. Their mission is to try to encourage both individual stability and community vitality through creative home ownership options. And given what we've all seen in the economy the past year and a half, I think that's an important and noble cause. She's also done a lot to help build support for my campaign, and that's what I'd like her to talk about now. Melanie Gillespie.
Okay, if there's any doubt about my support for Will, me getting up on this rickety platform should just I'm up here, I'm in one piece. I think we're being filmed, and I don't want it to end up on YouTube with me falling. Thank you.
And what's your website address for the campaign? www.electwillhall.org.